No Longer Music is everything but a typical band. We're not just four guys playing music. We're normal, everyday people coming from all over the world with a singular passion to see God glorified. Art just happens to be the way He has gifted us to do that. We exist as part of a larger missions organization called Steiger International, with a vision to reach and disciple global youth culture. The gospel compels us to go. As followers of Jesus, we have been called to make disciples of all nations. The question is not whether we go, but only when and where. In 2014, we had the privilege of playing 50 shows in 12 different countries throughout Europe and the Middle East.
My name is David Pierce, and I am the founder of No Longer Music.
Hi, my name is Stephen Bradley. I'm one of the guitar players in No Longer Music.
I'm KJ. I'm the keyboard player from Brazil.
Hey, my name is Josh Red, and I'm from Kansas, and I play drums.
I'm Marcel. I'm from Brazil, and I'm the bass player.
My name is Courtney Pierce. I am a singer, and I manage the backstage.
Hi, I'm G. I'm from Laos.
I'm Paige Slider. I am an actress in No Longer Music.
Hi, this is Ben Pierce. I am the lead singer and guitarist for No Longer Music.
Hey, my name is Luke Weir. Welcome to tour.
So we are at the Slot Art Festival. This is a festival that's deeply rooted in our history as a mission.
This project developed in collaboration with No Longer Music, and it was a follow-up after the rock tours of No Longer Music.
We've played here several times. This is my third time playing here, and we're super excited. The crowd is always really engaged, and so not only is this fun opportunity for us, but it's usually a tremendous ministry opportunity as well. So we expect a great show and many, many young Polish people to give their lives to Jesus. So we're excited.
It's gonna be a little more crazier, it's gonna be a little more exciting. I get to zip line in as Wild Thing, which has never been done in the history of No Longer Music. I don't know what happened, but I thought for sure he was gonna go faster, but it just went super slow, so I played with it.
Is there anyone here tonight who's thirsty, who wants to know the truth? Jesus is the truth. Is there anyone here that needs to be freed? Only Jesus can make you free. No one ever rose from the dead. Everyone who wants to know Jesus like I'm talking about, just follow the fire now. Just go.
Yeah, it was cool. There was like thousands of people going crazy, which is just always fun, but I mean, then a huge response at the end, like hundreds of people filling this hall over here and praying to, I mean, like a choir, just like praying to receive Jesus.
Say this to Him deep inside of your heart. And if you do that, He will hear you in this beautiful place. Thank you that you died for me. Dziękuję, że umarłeś za mnie. I ask you to forgive me for the bad things that I have done. I invite you to come into my life tonight. Zapraszam Cię, wejdź do mojego życia. I surrender to you.
No po prostu poczułam to, że to co zawsze było martwe, to teraz do mnie przemówiło tak naprawdę. I stało się to dla mnie prawdą. Będę teraz szukać głębiej, tak jakby poszukiwać realistycznie bardziej, tak prawdziwie. To było niezwykłe, takie ciężko nawet określić, ale takie właśnie jakbym zaczynała odszukiwać to, czego szukałam już dawno. Takie bardzo bezpośrednio powiedziane, że Bóg kocha właśnie Ciebie i że On tu jest.
Czuję pewną ulgę. Czuję się bardzo mocno dotknięty. Mam ochotę chodzić i przepraszać każdego, kogo znam. I przebaczać innym, którzy zanili mnie.
Proclaiming the gospel, that for me was the highest point. Those moments after a show when we're able to stand up in front of a crowd of people and say, guys, this is who Jesus is. Our show is showing you what Jesus is about, and seeing people's reaction to that. Just seeing people who maybe would have never walked into a church, who have never grasped who Jesus is, suddenly having that look of shock, of like, wow, are these guys really talking about Jesus? And is this really what I'm hearing? And then often people just moved by the presence of God in those places and realizing that God is a God who wants to reveal himself.
Life begins and I hit the ground
In the 80s, God called me to Amsterdam. That's where I met my wife, Jody. And during this time, the biggest movement was the punks and anarchists. And so we felt like we were supposed to reach these people who had such a negative idea about who Jesus is. We didn't know what to do, so Jody and I and a small group of us would go out into the forest at night, and we'd have all-night prayer meetings, and we'd cry out to God and ask him, how are we going to reach these young people? And it was during this time that I felt like we were supposed to start a Bible study in an old barge behind Central Station, Steiger 14, which means Pier 14 in Dutch. And at the same time, God led us to start a band, No Longer Music, as a way of going to their clubs, to going to their places, and communicating in their language who Jesus is. We figured that if we reached the alternative young people in the city, we would reach everybody. And so that's how the whole movement started.
You don't have to listen to lies anymore. Zelda's the life of Jesus. I died in your place. We can be together again.
To us, the message is the most important thing. That's why we always project the words to our songs up on the screen. And we always get the lyrics translated into the language of the country that we're in.
Our message is radical, and our message will stir people up, and that's okay.
No Longer Music's past has been both wild and incredible. Despite our early fringe beginnings, our message is more relevant now than ever before.
This is my 5th tour, and it's been super challenging, but I don't think that anything that has meaning or is worth it in the world is going to be easy. And I don't want to just sit at a desk, and I don't want to just make money and have a family and just do that every day.
We are not special. All we do is bring our empty hands of faith to God, saying, here we are, send us. God has been and is consistently opening doors for us, like Poland.
Well, our van was stuck in one traffic jam for about 2.5 hours, and it was just a big crash involving lots of cars. But the truck and trailer, which hold all of our stuff and equipment, is still about 3 hours away, so it isn't looking too good to make the show tonight.
We have a roughly 3-hour drive ahead of us, and well, the show is supposed to start at 8:30, which means we have 1 hour to set up.
Without our equipment, the show just wouldn't happen. Miraculously, our gear arrived right as the show was meant to start. We literally set up in front of the crowd and walked on stage. Facing challenges is part of tour, and it can be exhausting. Watching God deliver when all hope seems lost proves His faithfulness and makes the journey all the more real.
So if you want to give your life to Jesus, if you want to know this Jesus I'm talking about,
Jeżeli chcesz poznać tego Jezusa, o którym ja tutaj mówię,
I want you to raise your hand.
podnieś swoją rękę.
What I want to do is invite you to pray with me. Lord Jesus, thank you that you love me.
Panie Jezu, dziękuję, że mnie pokochałeś.
Thank you that you died for me.
Dzięki, że umarłeś za mnie.
Forgive me for the bad things I've done.
Wybacz złe rzeczy, które uczyniłem.
And with your help, I want to follow you for the rest of my life.
I z Twoją pomocą chcę iść za Tobą do końca mojego życia.
Zaskoczenie i bardzo, bardzo ciekawe zmianę wewnętrzną, o tak to ujmę. A i szczerze miałem takie momenty, żeby wyjść, już iść dalej, gdzie miałem iść, ale no nie mogłem, bo to było za ciekawe i chciałem zobaczyć, jak to się wszystko skończy i no, słowa tego pana w dreadach na końcu.
Co czułaś w czasie przedstawienia?
Zmiany, na pewno.
Changes.
I chciało mi się płakać.
And I wanted to cry. I don't know why. A czy myślisz, że coś się zmieni dzięki temu?
Sporo na pewno.
Yeah, I believe a lot.
As a mission organization, Steiger's focuses on what we call the secularized global youth culture.
In these days, church is pretty much discredited. We can see in Western Europe, there are a couple of generations that are lost already because people were focusing on just a regular thing that they were used to and they felt comfortable in. But culture is changing, so we should change too.
So when we talk about being relevant and communicating in the language of the people, we're not talking about being the same as the world around us. We're talking about communicating the strength and the difference that there is in the gospel, the truth of the gospel, but in a way people will understand.
Unique might be a fitting title for No Longer Music. We set up in city squares and other public venues using music, theater, dance, and film, not only to say the name of Jesus, but to show who He is. We lift up the cross as the only answer for a hurting world, simply relaying the hope of the gospel. Our role is to love others. God is who forever changes lives. We share the truth and give people a chance to respond. What is always crazy to us is that everywhere we go, they do.
What I've found is that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And this has been the same way for thousands of years. But what's so incredible about the world that we live in is that it's so connected. I mean, you can go to northern Iraq or to New York or Minneapolis and young people are connected. They're listening to the same music and they're watching the same movies. And what I've seen is that you can use your gifts. You can take art and music and you can share a clear gospel message, and no matter where you go in the world, they'll understand and they'll respond.
Purpose for life? I don't know. Oh my God, if I knew, I would be some kind of, I don't know, wise man. I have no idea.
See them again.
Dopo shkruash domethënë gjeneratën e re sot.
Gjenerat koti, gjenerat.
Is a generation that doesn't do nothing. Without values.
So they drink, they smoke, and they take drugs. What do you think young people are living for? I mean, work. What else? Just work?
And money.
My generation. Last.
Sexo, droga y Facebook.
Music, books, women.
How should I live? For money. Money is the first thing in my life.
If we understand that the world population is urbanized today, the majority of people are living in urban centers. These urban centers are connected by an entertainment industry, by globalism, by the internet. They are sharing the same values across the globe.
We can see when we are going coffee, the first thing that we are doing, we are playing with phones, and the communication is not, the globalization is affecting this.
So you can go to any urban center in the world today and you will find people that are on Facebook, that are watching the same movies, that are wearing the same clothes, listening to the same music, and sharing similar values. And these values are increasingly what we would call secularized. Secularization is when religious institution becomes irrelevant to people's day-to-day lives.
I think it shouldn't be here. Yeah? At university? Yeah. You know, university is nothing about religion. Yeah. So why it's here? Why are you asking me what I think about God? You can ask me what I think about my major, what I think about university, but not about God. Well, it's not about believing. Yeah. If I believe in God, if I don't believe in God, it doesn't matter. Here, it shouldn't be. Yeah. It's not a place for some events like this. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it. Like, God can be everywhere, but if I wanna hear about him, there are places for it. Yeah.
We're not looking to be offensive. We're not looking to deliver the gospel offensively, but the reality is the gospel will offend. I mean, you look at Paul, the Apostle Paul, and one of the two things that he experienced was miracles and riots.
يا رب اشكرك انه انت بتحبني. While Dave was speaking and I translating, he told me if you didn't shut up, I'll break your what's that, your jaw.
And so they kind of are inevitable to some extent. I think in order to relevantly communicate the gospel, that means knowing the people God's called you to reach. It means having a broken heart for them. If people genuinely can feel that you care about them, that you love them, then they're less likely to be offended. They're going to be more open to what you have to say. And above all, it's going to be more effective. And that has to be a genuine love for people. And that love has to come from God.
Last night was amazing. We had some problems with our sound check, and I know God moved powerfully last night, and many people raised their hands to receive Jesus.
You can ask him to come into your life right now, and when you go home, you will be changed. And that empty feeling that you have will be filled with him, and you will be free. Do you want to know Jesus like I'm talking to you? Just raise your hand with me and I want to
Możesz wytłumaczyć, co się stało, co czułeś, jak oglądałeś show, to widowisko?
No nie wiem, co czułem dokładnie, ale pierwszy raz na czymś takim jestem, nie? Potrzebuję, bo ja już teraz rzucam alkohol właśnie od 4 dni. Chcę się nawrócić i czułem to, że...
This kind of turn in his life because he's quit drinking, he's not drinking for 4 days and he felt that he should respond to this message.
Miałem straszny problem właśnie z tym.
And it was really hard. It is a hard struggle.
Po to tu przyjechałem właściwie, nie?
And it's the reason I'm here.
Z tym poradzić, nie? Ale
just to survive this struggle.
Ale nikt nie wiedział o tym, że to tak wyjdzie to tak właśnie.
But I didn't know that I will express that I will see something like that, like this concert.
I don't know how to say, but something maybe changed in me. I don't know what, but it's nice feeling in my heart now. It's cool. It was something like somebody hugged me or something. It was really nice. In one moment I start cry.
Our time in Poland was special. Only God could dream up No Longer Music's journey in this post-communist country. It is laughable to think that a young American man would end up in Amsterdam and then feel called to start a punk rock band that preaches Jesus to the least likely. 29 years later, this band is still touring countries like Poland and has ministered in such unlikely places as Russia, Mongolia, Iraq, Vietnam, Ukraine, and countless more. But this is all history, and nothing is impossible with God. If Jesus can work through us, then He can work through anyone.
What I've learned on this tour is that if God can use me, He can use anybody. You know, I think a common mistake that we make is we look to ourselves, you know, our resources or our abilities. And really, I've experienced that doesn't matter so much. The key is knowing God. And the way we know God is when we really begin to seek Him in prayer. Hebrews 11:6 says, without faith, it's impossible to please God, because anyone that comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. I have seen this principle played out in my life over and over again, that it's not been about my effort or about my skill, but it's been about me going on my knees and desperately asking God to move in power through my life.
Well, we've been driving 12 hours. We're somewhere in the middle of a French field. We're taking a couple days drive to Spain, starting from Germany, and we're literally in the middle of this kind of wood area in some guy's field. So yeah, we're just camping out for the night, and we'll take off tomorrow and do it again.
Yeah, some snags and some damper tomorrow night, bro. Oh, damn, turn that down. Whoa. Hopefully you get a good sleep. The ground's a little bit harder than last night, but there's not as many sticks, which is good. All smiles here.
So Jonathan, why did a Muslim radio station ask us to come and do a 20-minute interview with us?
I don't know. I don't understand. So it's crazy.